Love after 60. The 4 deep emotional needs older men value in women more than love. Welcome to Wise Life After 60. So grateful to have you here. Love isn't enough. You can give a man your whole heart. You can stand by him through storms, share every meal, remain loyal, and even sacrifice your own comfort just to see him smile. And still, he may grow distant, pull away, or even leave. Why? Because there are emotional needs men carry that run deeper than love itself. In Love After 60, in the quiet lessons of dating after 60, and even in stories of older men dating younger women or navigating age gap relationships, these needs quietly decide whether a man truly stays. Most women believe that love is the most important thing men want. And while love is powerful, it's not always the anchor that keeps a man's heart secure. The truth is, men have hidden layers of emotional needs that often guide male psychology in love more than affection ever could. When these needs are overlooked, no amount of devotion feels enough. But when they are honored, something remarkable happens. Men don't just feel loved, they feel seen, respected, and deeply connected. Tonight, I want to share with you the 4 deep needs that matter more to men than love itself. If you've ever wondered why love alone wasn't enough, this may finally give you the answer. Before we dive in, I'd love for you to tap that like button and subscribe to Wise Life After 60, a place where we share gentle reflections on love, wisdom from the years, and the quiet beauty of aging with strength and grace. And now, let's open the door to today's topic together with curiosity and an open heart. Emotional need number 1. Earned respect. Without it, even the strongest love begins to quietly erode. You can be the most devoted partner, pouring loyalty, kindness, and affection into a man, but if he doesn't feel respected, something deep inside him starts to wither. In Love After 60, when the noise of youth has settled and what remains are the truths of character, this need becomes even more pronounced. It is one of the hidden emotional needs of men, and it is more vital than many realize. Most women have been taught to believe that love is the highest offering they can give. Yet, in the quiet corners of male psychology and love, respect often carries more weight than affection. It is not about automatic courtesy or polite words. It is about seeing him as a man of worth, not as a project to fix, not as someone who always needs correction, but as someone whose judgment and efforts deserve to be trusted. I remember a conversation with a friend who had been married for nearly 40 years. She told me that the turning point in her marriage came not when she loved her husband more, but when she stopped treating his ideas as if they needed her approval to matter. She recalled one evening when he suggested a simple solution to a household problem. In the past, she might have dismissed him with a wave of the hand. Instead, she looked at him and said, "That makes sense. Let me think about it." She swore she saw his shoulders straighten, his eyes soften, as if, for the first time in a long while, he felt truly seen. This is what so many women miss. A man can be deeply in love, but if every suggestion is met with doubt or sarcasm, his heart begins to retreat. It is not about agreeing with everything he says. It is about the spirit in which you respond. Do you make him feel like his intent is good, even if the idea needs work? Or do you make him feel like he has failed before he has even tried? Psychology has long shown that a man's sense of self-worth is often tied to how he feels in the presence of his partner. In dating after 60, this truth doesn't fade. In fact, it becomes sharper.
Older men may no longer chase ambition in the same way, but the need to be respected by the woman beside them remains. It is woven into their identity, their quiet sense of dignity. So when you treat him not as someone to correct, but as someone to trust, you are offering more than politeness. You are giving him emotional oxygen. And when he breathes that in, he feels safe, grounded, and deeply loyal. Love may ignite the flame, but respect is the steady oil that keeps it burning long after the fire of youth has cooled. And yet, respect alone is not the whole picture. A man longs not only to be respected, but also to feel admired, to feel as if he brings something unique to the world. That is where our next reflection leads us.
Emotional need number 2. Admiration and hero instinct. Have you ever wondered why a simple compliment can light up a man's entire face more than the grandest display of affection? There is a reason. Behind the quiet strength of so many men lies a craving that is as old as time itself. They long not only to be loved, but to be admired, to feel like they bring something valuable into the life of the woman they care for. In the modern language of psychology, some call this the hero instinct. Now, do not be misled by the word hero. It is not about capes or rescues from burning buildings. In truth, most men are not waiting for dramatic battles to prove their worth. What they seek is much quieter, yet profoundly human. They want to know that their presence makes a difference, that their actions, however small, matter to you. A man who feels admired begins to carry himself differently. His voice steadies, his shoulders square, and his eyes carry a confidence that is born not of ego, but of belonging. This is why admiration often means more to him than love. Love can feel given, assumed, almost automatic in a long relationship. But admiration must be earned, and when you offer it sincerely, it tells him he has value beyond obligation. In Love After 60, in the delicate rhythms of dating after 60, this need is still alive. Men who no longer chase careers or status still long to feel that spark of usefulness, to know they hold a place no one else could fill. It is easy to overlook this. Many women assume that once love is secure, admiration is optional. Yet the opposite is true. Without admiration, love becomes hollow. With it, love deepens and grows resilient, able to carry you both through the quiet seasons of later life. Think of it this way. Love is the soil, but admiration is the sunlight. Without light, even the richest soil cannot bring forth growth. Here, I want to pause and ask you something. Has there ever been a time when you admired a man in your life and you saw his whole spirit change in response? Maybe a husband, a partner, even a close friend. I would love to hear your reflections. Share your experience in the comments because your story may be the exact encouragement another woman in our Wise Life After 60 community needs to hear. Admiration, when it is genuine, does not just make him feel good. It roots him, anchors him, and reminds him that he is not replaceable. That is a truth more powerful than many realize. And when a man feels that truth deeply, it shapes not only how he sees you, but how he sees himself. Emotional need number 3. Emotional safety and support. Silence can be louder than words. Many men carry their struggles quietly, hiding pain behind a steady face, because somewhere along the way they were taught that real men don't cry. But in truth, no matter how strong or seasoned he may appear, a man's heart longs for a place where he can set down the weight and be received without judgment. This is the gift of emotional safety, and without it, love cannot take root for long. When I speak of the emotional needs of men, this one sits near the very core. In Love After 60, men may not speak openly of their worries about health, aging, or loneliness. Instead, they disguise them behind silence, irritation, or distraction. But inside, there is often a desperate hope that someone will simply listen and say, "You don't have to carry this alone." That is not a weakness, it is humanity. I once knew a man who carried the burden of caring for his aging parents while still working full-time. To the outside world, he looked steady, capable, even unshakable. But at night, in the quiet of his home, he felt overwhelmed. His partner noticed his sighs and heavy silences. Instead of telling him to cheer up or accusing him of negativity, she sat beside him and said softly, "I know you've been carrying so much. I'm here." In that moment, he felt a release he hadn't known he needed. It wasn't advice that helped him, it was acceptance. Science even supports this. Studies show that men release oxytocin, the bonding hormone, most strongly not only during physical intimacy, but in moments where they feel safe to be emotionally vulnerable. It is in these quiet exchanges, a hand on the shoulder, a patient ear, a kind word, that connection is strengthened. The mistake many couples make is believing that love alone can substitute for this safety. But love without acceptance can feel conditional. What matters most is the assurance that his fears, doubts, and fragility will not be used against him, that he can lay them bare without losing your respect. In dating after 60, when both partners have lived long lives full of scars and lessons, this kind of support becomes even more sacred. So when you offer him a space where he can simply be human, you give him more than comfort. You give him freedom from the mask he has worn for decades. And in return, he gives you a loyalty that is almost unshakable. Emotional safety does not shout. It whispers, but its echo lasts for a lifetime. Still, as important as safety is, there is another longing men quietly carry. It is not about being heard or being admired, but about something that preserves their very sense of self.
Emotional need number 4, freedom and space. Control suffocates. Freedom breathes life. A man can be surrounded by love, yet if he feels constantly watched, questioned, or pressed into a mold, that love begins to feel like a cage. And here lies one of the most misunderstood emotional needs of men. It is not a rejection of commitment. It is not disloyalty. It is the need for space, the room to still feel like himself. Think about it. In Love After 60, many of us have lived decades of routines, responsibilities, and expectations. We have been husbands, fathers, workers, providers. But deep down, men still carry dreams, hobbies, friendships, and quiet pursuits that remind them they are individuals, not just roles. To take that space away is to take away breath itself. Philosophers have spoken of this for centuries. Epictetus wrote that no man is free who is not master of himself. Freedom is not the absence of love, but the presence of trust. When a man is allowed to step into his own world, to pursue what stirs his spirit, he does not drift from the relationship. He returns to it stronger. He brings with him energy, vitality, and gratitude because he knows he is trusted. Without this, resentment grows. Love begins to feel like an obligation, and connection starts to fray. A man who feels smothered often pulls away, not because he wants to lose you, but because he is losing himself. This is one of the hidden truths of male psychology and love, a truth too often overlooked in relationship advice for women. So let me ask you directly, do you believe giving a man freedom makes him love you less, or does it actually bind him closer? I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. In our community here at Wise Life After 60, your reflections may help another woman see her own relationship in a new light. Freedom and space are not luxuries for men. They are oxygen. They are the proof that you respect his individuality, even as you share your lives together. And when that freedom is honored, love does not weaken. It breathes. It endures. It grows. Every man carries this need differently, but the principle is the same. Trust strengthens bonds. Control weakens them. That is as true in the autumn of life as it was in its spring. To offer space is not to lose him. It is to give him back to himself, and in that giving, he chooses you more deeply.
When I look back on these reflections, I am reminded of something simple yet profound. Love, as beautiful as it is, was never the whole story. In Love After 60, in the winding paths of dating after 60, what truly holds a man's heart is not only affection, but whether he feels respected, admired, safe, and free. These are the quiet foundations, the hidden emotional needs of men that often run deeper than the word love itself. Perhaps you have felt the frustration of giving everything and still watching him drift. Or perhaps you have been blessed to see how small changes, a word of trust, a gesture of admiration, a space of acceptance can transform the way he connects. This is the essence of male psychology in love, the part of what men want in relationships that so often goes unseen. I believe that in later life we carry a gift that younger hearts often overlook. We have the time and the wisdom to notice the subtler things, to recognize that love is not measured in dramatic gestures, but in the daily choices to respect, to admire, to listen, and to give space. We can love not only with our hearts, but with the understanding carved from years of joy and loss, trial and growth. And here is what that wisdom whispers. When a man feels these needs honored, he does not simply remain by your side. He flourishes. He stands taller. He speaks softer. He chooses more deeply. And in his flourishing, he gives back a love that is steady, faithful, and alive. Love becomes not just a feeling, but a refuge, a place where two souls can rest without fear. And if you found value here, please like this video and subscribe to Wise Life After 60, where we continue to explore love, wisdom, and the secrets of the heart in life's later chapters. These truths do not diminish love. It is deepened. It becomes the strongest when it is woven together with respect, admiration, safety, and freedom. That is where love finally finds its truest home. Until next time, take care of your spirit and remember, you are never walking this path alone.